BD5 Pilot with you out at the Hillsboro hangar. You can see I've got the aircraft pulled apart again, and I've been doing some inspection of potential areas to put autopilot servos, as well as just inspection of some of the construction that had some access panels I needed to pull off to look at. So in the engine compartment, down underneath the board where the engine would sit, are the control cables and push rods for operating the aileron and the elevator. And you can see I've got a nice looking attachment point and bulkhead. I can put a servo on and attach the aileron servo right to that surface right there. When it comes to running the elevator, I'm going to need to tie into one of these cables. It looks like I've got about 1.25 inch throw, no, 2.5 inch. 1.25 is the halfway point. 2.5 inch throw back and forth that I can put a capstan by and mount that servo down low into the body of the fuselage here underneath the engine, hopefully away from the heat sources, and keep that working nicely. I could potentially put another servo, that elevator servo, in this area, but I don't like that as much. I think it's a little tighter area to work with, and this is where that push rod comes through for operating the control stick on the aircraft. The side stick operates from here, and once again, I'm so impressed with the engineering that Jim Eady and his crew put into the BD5 to make this into such a small, lightweight, but very well engineered bird. Another area I wanted to look over had to deal with where to put a communications antenna. And of course, one of the suggestions is to mount it down between where the gear come up. There's a little cross member there. And I needed to see if I had the clearance, because if I use one of those bent whip antennas, I need to have, it's 8.5 inches away from the body, so I need to have the clearance, and I measured this at about 11 inches. And from the other side, looking down through where the wheel well compartment is, you can see that triangular shaped piece there, which would be the mounting location for that bent whip antenna, and that should work fine. And I can have the curb feeler, as they call it. So in case I try to land with that gear up, I'll hear that little metal scraping, and I'll be able to get back up and pull the gear up. So next up for me is going to involve that avionics bay area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some cardboard, hard paper models, dimension-wise, of the components they'd have to fit there, and make sure they actually fit into that area I'm looking at. I have sufficient space for air cooling, and I'm not going to run into any electrical problems wiring that up. So be careful, measure twice, cut once. BD5 Pilot out.